All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom. Oh, shalom to the rest. Oh, shalom. Yeah, shalom to the rest of the elect out there. The man that can't prophesy, because, their disability prevents them. And, basically, they're not able to because it wasn't their lot in the first place. I'm talking about those that ain't really able to, not just making excuses. Those who ain't really able to. And to believing women and children, whether y'all look like the people on the 12 tribe chart, so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, or y'all look like the other nations. Y'all don't look like people on the 12 tribe chart. If you're your spirit bears witness that you're the children, you are one of the children of Yahweh Shem Shai, got the zeal, through the curses, some of them are hitting more than others. That's how it is. Then the fuck.
Across the world as rioters
then and you can get this truth, then you might possibly be the elect if you endure to the end. And you are the elect. These lives are to feed the sheep and to wake up those that are still lost and those are still asleep. Basically to regather those that are still lost, and the ones that and it can be gathered. In other words, the elect. All right, so I titled this live, Babylon is over party, because Babylon is over, man. These prophecies are popping off, man. They're not tarrying, man. Now you have China. China flied bombers. China flied bombers over. China flied bombers over Taiwan, like close to Taiwan and shit, man. They fly bombers, nuclear capable bombers into Taiwan, man. That shows you how close this third world war is. So this is the last thing that's gonna happen. This third world war. So if this third world war is that close, and these other prophecies are way more closer. I'll play this video.
Very real threat of World War III is happening all around us.
I'm actually going to switch the camera.
Nuclear
Let me hit
bombers
pause on this. So I can switch that camera over to... hold on. So where y'all can see it. Yeah. And then y'all can see it. Y'all can see the video.
Taiwan's airspace. Looting is taking place in New Orleans, and this isn't being discussed on the media because they don't want you, the servants, being afraid for yourselves. We are witnessing right now a massive change across our world, a time when food prices go up, quality and everything decreases. It becomes hard for you to purchase things like a washer machine, air conditioner, And this is happening during the world's largest financial crisis in a time that is going to change the world for your children. Like you, we are getting ready. In fact, you'll hear behind me the beeping of large machinery and trucks that are starting to get things prepared where they are needed. We are entering into a time of change, a time where you as an individual need to start thinking about your family, how you're going to defend them, how you're going to defend your land, what you're going to do when people come to steal the things that you have, just like what is taking place in New Orleans, in Louisiana, in the United States right now. The sheriff, multiple police departments started warning during the crisis of Hurricane Ida that these events were taking place. And we only knew this because we were listening, we were monitoring the police feeds. We were watching social media where individuals were warning that my house was looted, my car was looted, my shop was looted, my workplace was looted. It happened over and over again. And now we're seeing the police finally come forward and saying that more than 40 individuals have been apprehended. If history tells you anything, it's that if 40 individuals have been apprehended, then 120, maybe 240 individuals were doing this. Predators are going to predate during every crisis. It does the mainstream or it does the local government good to not warn you about these things, because otherwise you won't call the police when something happens. You won't call a first responder at every scratch. They want that dependency. They don't want you to think that you have to defend yourself, because after all, that's what your tax-paying money goes toward, is paying the police department to keep you safe. Very few times in our current world are we seeing these events unfold in an ideal way. We are watching right now the greatest unraveling in the Western world, a time where individuals thought that their biggest concern in life was what was happening to celebrities on television and how they would get their Frappuccino either delivered to them or picked up by a good friend and brought to them. We are moving out of a world of cushion living and into the one that the rest of the world has had to experience for the last 20, 50, 100, 300 years.
And I'm going to pause it right there because I'm going to get some scriptures on that. This is what we're experiencing right here. That's what we're experiencing right here. Let me get it. Let me get 2nd Ezra 6 and 11. And 6 and 22, Salakia. My bad. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So as you see what this Edomite appearing individual, what he said, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and you're seeing that right now, man. The sown places like Babylon, America, man. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly, so now unsown, undone, unraveling, like you said. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, like Babylon is not known to get hit by famines and shit. But now that's it, which are shortages. But now that's exactly what you're seeing. And because of that, you're seeing looting. That's also according to scriptures, man. You're seeing these Jakes in New Orleans, man. They're having they're not being able to to they're not starving, they're not being able to find anything to eat, or they're not being able to find anything to eat, so they're looting. And hold up. Verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one another against another like enemies. And that's coming. Riots is coming next. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run, which is talking about a drought. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, because of all the chaos, all the shit that's hitting the fan. It's going to lead to that, friends fighting against one another like enemies. Let me get 2nd Esdras chapter 15. That's exactly what's going down in New Orleans. Let me get this. A man shall verse 19 of 2nd Esdras chapter 15. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's exactly what's happening here, man. What's getting ready to happen, because right now it's happening to the stores. But what happens if the stores is all gone, man? You have the houses next. Those that still have bread, man. That's where shit's gonna get real. And there's also a famine that is developing, and it's already starting to be felt, even here in Babylon, with the higher gas prices and some shelves being empty in some stores, man. There's videos of that. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 15, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. There you go, man. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, man. That's what's gonna happen, man. Not gonna give a fuck. Right now they already don't give a fuck, man. They hungry. They gonna take what they can take in order to eat, man. Jake out there, ain't. We've been going. Our people been going through shit. Being at the bottom, but it ain't like how it is. Okay, in third world countries, it's even worse. It ain't like how it is over there, where it's obvious, and the poverty, is more hard hitting, because they don't try to make you think that they're for you and shit as much. The government don't make you think that they fuck with you, basically. And hold on, Salakia. And so now that's coming here, man. What was over there, Salakia? What was over there is coming over here. Now we're gonna have third world type conditions over here, except worse. And because the people are not used to it, there's gonna be looting. There's gonna be riots, Salakia, for that. There's gonna be looting and riots. So, that this leads to what? Why would Esau be bringing that? This leads to what? Because he thinks by creating chaos, he's gonna push his new world order, and this how Yahweh Shem Shai got Esau basically doing the dirty work for him, bringing judgment on the world, man. Bring judgment on you 2/3 niggas, man. Verse 17: the man shall desire to go into a city. Let me correct myself. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18: for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. There you go, man. Because of the so man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because all the chaos, all the hell that's breaking out, and also it's gonna lead to martial law, man. It's gonna lead to Esau deploying the UN troops, man. Verse 18: because of the pride, city shall be troubled, man. All types of hell breaking loose, famine, the sword, also pestilence, because when people, they don't have as much, they're starving, man. When people is starving, malnourished and shit, man, and also there's a heat wave hitting, so people's bodies is weakened, they're more susceptible to to pestilences, different pestilences that are out there. The different pestilences that Esau is gonna release. And 2/3 not with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You don't trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so you're just gonna be out there through, finished, starving, dying from being slain by the sword. Because Esau is gonna bring that martial law, man. This is gonna be happening all over, man. When the economic collapse hits, when people and there's no security blanket, there's no unemployment because it expired. There's no I think so. I'll look it up, but pretty sure it just expired. Ain't no damn rent moratorium, man. Ain't no rent moratorium because that was just struck down by the Supreme Court. So no security blanket, so you Jakes don't fall all the way through, man. So there's gonna be chaos here in Babylon, man. Riots and shit. And let me continue playing this video.
Time when change is washing across the United States of America.
Oh,
and this is
well, let me continue.
All the while, we are seeing an increase in the likelihood that we are going to enter into a new world war. Not just a regional war, not just a national conflict. We are talking about a world war, a time when allied pacts bring in countries across the world and their militaries fight it out over different homelands. I want you to be ready for that type of thing to happen, because when that does, when that balloon finally goes up, when that line in the sand is finally crossed, that is when your world changes overnight. China recently flew nuclear bombers, anti-aircraft, anti-submarine aircraft. They flew fighter jets into Taiwan's airspace, according to the Taiwan Defense Ministry. And with any of our topics that we talk about here on this channel, I want you to just go type in that type of information. China flies nuclear bomber into Taiwan. You're going to find dozens and dozens of articles. That's not what this channel is about. It's not just about talking about those events. It's about how you get ready for those things and what the events of the world mean for you and your family. Because as the world goes to war, that means your world changes overnight. Your price of food goes up. It balloons up to something you have never seen before. Your availability of goods goes down to levels that you have never witnessed before. 90%, 80 to 90% of all over-the-counter medicine and the medicines that keep the Western cultures alive into the 70s and 80s and 90s, even amidst the worst dietary habits in the world, come from China, come from India. And so when those supply chains stop, that's when you have a real world without rule of law, the end of the world as you knew it. The stuff just hit the fan, taking place across the country and across the world. That's the time that you need to get ready for, because that time is almost here. Just a year ago, you saw that across the world, as rioters took to the streets, looting was widespread. The police largely didn't act. They couldn't act because there were too many of them versus too few of the police. That is the world of your future. That is the future of your world. You need to start thinking about every grocery trip, every supermarket resupply. What does it mean? Should you get more than you have to get? Should you get enough so that if you can't go back for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, you will have enough? You should be topping up your pantry. Make sure that you are getting those canned goods, because with Guinea's recent coup attempt, may have been a full coup, you are going to see the price of aluminum skyrocket. That means, and Campbell's already warned that just with what they were seeing, you were going to see the price of chicken soup, price of all their soups skyrocket. So imagine now that the raw cost of aluminum goes up, you're going to look at one can of soup costing you what, $3? This is a time that you need to start getting ready for. Top up your pantry. If you can afford to do it, get those pantry goods right now.
And hold on. I'm running back.
Just a year ago, you saw that across the world, as rioters took to the streets, looting was widespread. The police largely didn't act. They couldn't act because there were too many of them versus too few of the police. That is the world of your future. That is the future of your world. You need to start thinking about every grocery trip, every supermarket resupply. What does it mean? Should you get more than you have to get? Should you get enough so that if you can't go back for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, you will have enough? You should be topping up your pantry. Make sure that you are getting those canned goods, because with Guinea's recent coup.
And you have to take in mind with this Edomite appearing individual, a lot of them is, they like physically preparing for the times that's coming is not gonna really help you, because hold on. I always fuck my food on so I can come back to it. Deal with shit. get I'm gonna get this. Luke 12 and 18. And he said this. Luke 12 and 7. Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. Verse 17. And he thought within himself, verse 17. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. Verse 17. Verse 18. Verse 18. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and all my goods. Verse 19. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. And on your peppers, that depend on basically, all the food that you save and all that. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong to set up a bug out bag and shit, but to, depend on it, I think that's all you need to make it through it. When you're tripping. Verse 20, as shown here, of power Yahweh said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required. Then whose shall be required of thee? Then whose shall these things be which thou hast provided? Because colony prepping is not going to really prepare you for what's coming. No, because what if you okay, what if you're not at your fucking crib when shit hits the fan? So like you don't know when it's gonna happen. What if you're out at work? Or what if you're out running an errand or some shit? What the fuck? What if you're okay, Slaka? What if you're out running an errand or some shit and you can't get back? You know, then what? Then what? You know, then what, right? All the shit that you stored up, you know, it's not gonna benefit you then. You know, it's gonna be for someone else. You couldn't get to it. And that's what you gotta keep in mind here, because a lot of people think that physically prepping is, if you physically prep, then you're good when shit hits the fan, and it's simply not true.
You were going to adjust with what they were seeing.
So just keep that in mind.
You were going to see the price of chicken soup, price of all their soups skyrocket. So imagine now that the raw cost of aluminum goes up, you're going to look at one can of soup costing you what, $3? This is a time that you need to start getting ready for. Top up your pantry. If you can
just keep in mind the precepts I just brought up.
Afford to do it.
Just because you do that shit don't mean you're going to be all the way prepared. And I got to switch the camera. You know, like I said, you know, you could end up blacking because you're not in the area. But you can't get to the bug out bag in time and shit. You know, hey, man, you don't know when it's going to pop off, man. So it's not recommended to depend on that shit, you know. Don't depend on nothing carnal. I'm going to keep playing this video. You keep that in mind. And I think there's something else this individual, this Edomite-looking individual brings out.
Get those pantry goods right now. Get those canned goods. Get the rice. Get the flour. Get the sugar. Get the honey. Do all those things that if you don't have necessarily an entire, 10 acres with an acre of your beef fields and your medicinal herbs, and then an acre of your staple foods, your starches, your carbohydrates, then an acre of your vegetables, then an acre of your orchard. Not very many people have this, let's face it. And I was talking with my children the other day about sustainability, and we talked about how even if you did have, let's say you had all of those things. Do you like chocolate? It's not very likely that you grow chocolate. How about coffee beans? Maybe you grow some. Do you grow enough that you need all year? So you need to be able to live with less. Get ready for that time when you have less. Get ready for that time when you can't afford to get more. If you go to Venezuela, if you go to Brazil, sure, there's things in the grocery store. They're just exorbitantly priced. It takes something like, or at least last time I checked, it took something like a million Venezuelan local currency to make $1 US. Imagine a time where you make $6,000 an hour and you can't pay for a cup of milk. Imagine a time where you make $10,000 an hour because your dollar is worth next to nothing and you can't pay for your insurance. You can't put gas in your car. That's the world. That's the future. By getting ready for these events, you put yourself and your family in a position of your own control and one of advantage. During that advantage, you have the ability.
No, really, you need to be getting spiritually prepared, man. You need to be getting right with Yahweh Shem Yahushai for the times is coming, man, and they coming soon. That's why I titled this Babylon is Over Party, because, you know, hey, Babylon is over. Babylon is through, man. Let me get the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. The names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. The names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are a strong tower. As we reach the Most High Yahweh to his son Yahweh Shai. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Well, there you go. It tells you. So you need to be getting right with the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You need to stop going off. You need to stop going off. You can understand this message. Stop smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, smoking altogether. Stop doing that shit. Anything that you smoke, stop smoking that shit. Stop fucking another man's woman. That's off. Gotta stop doing that. It's adultery. Stop doing that shit. Even if her man allows you to do it, okay? Even if it feels good, sin is gonna feel good. Doesn't mean you should continue doing it. Don't be deceived. Stop doing that. Stop stealing. From your brother. Stop stealing. Stop stealing some fucking. Stop fucking other man's wives and shit. I just said that thing. Yeah. Stop selling drugs. Even. If you think you need to sell drugs, you think you're gonna make it out the hood. No, you're not. No, you're gonna be the same as most of these low-time drug dealers. First off, you're gonna be the same as most of these drug dealers out here still in the hood. Second off, because come on, just look at it. Second off, even if you make it, man, these are corruptible riches that's gonna be taken from you. And if you make it a little more than the other drug dealers, and yeah, man, you're gonna lose all this shit, man, because you're not right with the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You're selling pharmakia, you're selling drugs to your brother, man. You're gonna suffer that judgment, man. You're gonna be cast into the lake of fire, man. Which that's the nukes that's hitting this place. That's gonna hit this place, man. It's gonna turn America into a lake of fire. Into a huge lake of fire. Just picture it. And all sorcerers, because the word there is pharmakia, which goes into that. Pharmaceutical drugs, man. Just drugs. Pharma goes into that. And it means sorcery. Revelation 21:18. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable, eating abominable foods for one, doing abominable shit also makes you abominable. Like adultery, homosexuality, all the rest is listed here as well. And whoremongers, Fornication is any unclean sex act. The law tells you what an unclean sex act is, and adult. Yeah, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers, a lot of y'all is as well, man. Hate your own brother. You Jakes, so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and these speckled birds, a lot of y'all are murderers, and a lot of you Eves, you women of our nation, of the so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and the speckled birds who descend from them or descend from the same tribes as them. A lot of y'all are murderers. A lot of y'all gotta repent, and those who are the elect will. And whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and sorcerers. There you go. You sell, you do pharmakia, man. You sell or you use pharmakia. And idolaters and all liars. And those and idolaters, including worshiping this beast system, but worshiping anything, you worship these women, you worship these different idols that the Roman Catholic Church tell you it's all right to worship. You worship anything but the Most High Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. You do worship Yahweh Shai as well, man, because He's the Messiah. But He came to do the will of who His Father Yahweh. So you work while worshiping Yahweh Shai. You worship His Father, Most High Yahweh. You worship His Father through worshiping Yahweh Shai in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. And all liars, bearing false witness, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death, and that's describing this place which is gonna be turned into a lake of fire and brimstone. That's in the nukes, and it's gonna hit this place. It's gonna hit soon. As a result of the Third World War, man. The Third World War, man. And this is a sign that the Third World War, Third World coming soon, man. Coming quickly. Let me get that. That's the last woe. Revelation 11 and 13. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Woe means destruction, and that's what these wars cause. And the third woe is going to cause, a lot of destruction, man. Definitely to this place, it's going to cause it to be destroyed completely, and many other places to be destroyed. The third woe, man, around the world is going to happen. The third woe is the Third World War. It's coming quickly, man. China is now flying nuclear bombers over Taiwan and shit. That's a sign that it's coming quickly because they didn't do that shit before. That's a new development. They didn't fly nuclear bombers over Taiwan. Ain't been that. They shouldn't happen. If it happened in the past, then it happened in a minute. That's hold on. China sends nuclear bombers and fighter jets near Taiwan Islands, yo. You know, and yeah, man, it's about to pop off. China's making moves there. No, China is also making moves in Afghanistan and shit.
Decisions.
Afghanistan too. You know, taking advantage of what Esau was doing there. So China's moving. And it shows that World War III is near, man. You know, the kings of the East, man, like Russia and China and Iran. You know, they're actually forming that alliance with each other, man. They're about to fucking come into that, basically be drawn in to that war, man. So like, gotta back out. That war, they're about to be drawn in to that war. Also, you know, these heathens, they're getting ready to go war with each other, man. So if World War III is that close, then how much more these other prophecies? Revelation 16 and 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. You know, but hey, between China and Iran, you have Afghanistan. So, and now it's Afghanistan. What the Taliban is basically they wanna, you know, China saying that they can help the Taliban. China's taking advantage of what Esau did. You know, Esau maybe baiting them in, but you know, Esau's gonna fail. You know, using that method, man. Verse 13, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. It's verse 13, verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle that great day of power Yahweh Almighty. So that there will woe is coming. Yeah, that there will woe coming, and you have martial law coming because of the sedition of men. The Esau is creating the conditions for, man, make no mistake. You know, Esau created those conditions. Or to have KO, right? Let me show y'all a different video though. You have this going on too. Brother brought it out.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash, double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, one with the truth of the gospel.
Stay in the Spirit 144. Elder Almen Valley, New Jersey.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24.
Elder Tasman
be divided against itself, that kingdom
brought this out.
And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Something else too.
And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. This is a clip. As you see, the title says, across the U.S., chants of F. Joe Biden have erupted at numerous college football games and other venues over the weekend. So let's just play that. So you see there, man. The videos that were being shown were who? Mostly Edomites, right? Satan house being divided.
Esau and
show you that, Babylon, America,
speckled birds among them,
because as we just read in
constant.
Mark 3rd chapter, verse 26, if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but has an end. We are at the end of Edom's rulership, when you have their own nation of people. Even though Babylon the Great, America is a melting pot, a mixture of nations here. You have Edomites that are actually rising up and having disdain toward their, so-called elected leader. Okay, remember they say that Joe Biden was the highest voted president, of all time, surpassing, I believe Obama was the highest before Joe Biden. But that goes to show you that this place, man, is through, because you got Edomites chanting F Joe Biden. That's basically saying what? F the government, F America, all right? F this way of life. They're not regarding, as the scripture says, let's get that, they're kings and princes. So 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. It says, and there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, this isn't, Iran screaming this. This isn't China or North Korea, all right, or India or Afghan or the Taliban or ISIS saying F Joe Biden. This is, Joe Biden's own citizens, man. The ones that are of this country that are saying it's about their own official, their own ruler. F their ruler. Okay, and this is exactly what started to happen, at the end of the Roman Empire. The citizens of Rome, were uprising and having uproars against their rulership. So we're seeing, clear as day that the Heavenly Father, Bashim Yahushua, is bringing this place down, all right? And there is no healing Babylon, okay? This place cannot be healed, all right? The people of this place, they as scripture, this is prophecy here in 2nd Ezra 15 chapter, that they should not regard their kings nor princes. So we are living in the time of the end of Esau's age, okay? And as the scripture says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, Second Esdras, the 6th chapter, verse. I'll start at verse. I'll go straight to the point, verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." All right, and the part of the signs of Esau's world ending is that it was going to be divided against itself. Any kingdom that is divided cannot stand. So, I just want to play that real quick. Lord willing, just edifying into the elect. Call Yahweh Bashim Abshai, Bashim Wakadash, Wala Baba Ball. Shalom.
Con. And like that brother said, man, it's a sign that this devil's kingdom is coming to an end, man. And this place, is also spiritually known as Egypt, as well as Sodom, as well as Babylon, as well as Assyria. It's also known as Egypt. And sign right here, man. Also, there's Satan, their chief adversary. Also known as, this place is also known as Egypt, the place where both the southern and northern kingdom was held captive, man. As well as the city of confusion, Babylon. Isaiah 19:12. Now I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Yep, it's exactly what's going on here, man. Everyone, they're fighting against their brother, man, their fellow Egyptian. His fellow Edomite, Joe Biden, he's Edomite, and a lot of these people, even though not all of them, a lot of them is, would be a lot of Edomites there, man. And they're coming against, Joe Blow and shit. And, that's another sign, man, because Satan's kingdom is divided, like the elder brother, Atazawam, Stay in the Spirit 144, like he brought out, man. That's like the end of a house divided shall fall, right? So that's like a sign of that. And let me get so it's a sign, when their kingdom and when they're falling from rulership, that's a sign that ours is next, man. That ours is coming soon. When you see all these things, man, when you see all these things, Luke 21 and 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, and look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, man. Because when this devil falls, all our people rise, starting with the elect, man. Jacob got next. That's why that's why we bring it out, Let you know what time it is and get it right. Get ready to be destroyed with this devil. Measure thou the time diligently. 2 Esdras 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Verse 12, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. What did you just see here, man? What did you just see here? Across the U.S., chants of fuck Joe Biden have erupted in many numerous college football games and other venues over the weekend. That's an example of uproars of the people in the world. Many others have occurred as well, such as the riots in France. Verse 4, then shall, in Australia as well. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High, Yahweh, spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Then shalt thou well understand. Because these events that are occurring were spoken of before us, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as in all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. And the end is manifest, man. The end is manifesting. It's coming true. It's happening before your eyes, man. And it's our job to warn you of these things that are happening, man, because these are the things that are happening, it's unlike, the things that have been happening, man. Even in the times when people thought we was at the end, no, this is different. What's happening is different. With different technology, you got the RFID technology and shit. You got the ways to administer it and all that. And you got these and you got the perfect excuse being set up by Esau, the so-called white man, to administer it. I heard someone in my door. Yo, anyone there? Nobody there. Somebody can get back to somebody. You're seeing these things happen that were, were prophesied, by the prophets of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Hold on. 1 5. And the end is manifest, man. And let me get next verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest. Let me get the meaning of the word manifest. Manifest. Hold on. Manifest. Clear or obvious to the eye or mind. There you go. Clear or obvious to the eye or mind. Well, end is manifest, it's obvious. Be evidence of proof. Bad industrial relations are often manifested in disputes and strikes. So, be evidence of proof. Mm-hmm. No, appear, man. Appear. Okay. Manifest etymology. To spread, to show plainly from manifest, adjective, or else from Latin manifestere, to discover, disclose, betray, means to display by actions. Is from 50-60s, reflective sense of diseases, etc. To reveal as an operation is from 1808. Disclosing what is secret, obscure, or unseen. You know, like these prophecies when they happen, now they is. So you get the picture. Let me get so we're supposed to let y'all know, be thou a watchman, right? Ezekiel 33 verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Fuck. Therefore thou shalt thou hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. Verse 8, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. Thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. Thou wicked man shall die in his iniquity. but his blood will I require at thine hand. So the blood is on our hand if we don't warn y'all. We don't tell y'all, man. We don't tell y'all what y'all doing is awful. We don't tell y'all that the end is coming soon so y'all can prepare yourselves. That's what a watchman does. Verse 9, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Yeah, because we warned you. Verse 10, therefore, O thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Does he speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we live? Okay, I think I already Oh, Khan, let me get this one. And how should we live? Verse 11, saying to them, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked of our people, but that the wicked turn from his way. You know, the wicked that's actually, right now they're going off, but they're going to get right because they're the elect. But that the wicked turn from his way and live, turn ye from the evil ways. For what will ye die, O house of Israel? And we're telling you that the times that that the end is about here, man. By revealing to you this news, man. By revealing to you this news that of the end, we're letting you know that the end is coming soon. It's not coming 2 years from now. It's not coming 5 years from now. It's not coming 10 years from now. It's not coming 20 years from now. It's coming soon. It's at the fucking door. And all the signs show you that. It's at the fucking door. That major event is going to hit, and when it does, you're going to wish, y'all are going to wish that y'all who didn't take heed are going to wish that y'all took heed. Hey, hold on. By the way, it's just my screensaver. Got my screensaver for this TV/computer, and it's chariots, so-called UFOs. The chariots that are coming to rescue the elect. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua would be of that number and to judge his place. Yahushua is coming in the clouds, in the chariots. He's coming in one of those vehicles. except a big one. So let me get I'm gonna get I have set watchmen. Watchmen upon thy walls. Slack. Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, keep not silence. Salakia. Oh, shit, Salakia. Verse 7, actually, let me get this one. And give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a place, a praise in the earth. Salakia. shit. Okay. Slovakia. So that's what we're doing, we're watching on the walls. We're supposed to warn y'all. We're supposed to warn y'all the time's coming, which is war, man. We're not supposed to, Bible say something about about the trumpet making an uncertain sound. Shall the trumpet make an uncertain sound? For if the trumpet make an uncertain sound. 1 Corinthians 14 and 8. 1 Corinthians 4, chapter 14, verse 8. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So if the trumpet gives an uncertain sound, like the trumpets, back in the days when we was in the land, right? The trumpets would function to, and the brothers brought this out, several brothers brought this out, to either warn of the time of war, or to gather the people for gather people for an assembly or a feast, man. So the trumpet giving an uncertain sound, and that's a sign. Well, that's basically like they give a sign for a feast, basically. Like you're talking about, it's an analogy, right? You're talking about a feast. Talking about a feast, gotta be in the time of mirth and all that. Oh, we gotta celebrate. We finna do the next Passover big and shit. We finna build up our nation. Mirth, right? Happy times, right? But war is coming. Then you're sounding, you like the watchman is supposed to sound the trumpet, right? You're sounding, you're giving out an uncertain sound, man. You're giving out an uncertain sound, telling people about a feast when war is coming, man. So they're gonna prepare themselves for a feast and not for war, man. You know, all for just an assembly when war is coming, man. You know, we out here warning the people that war is coming. We out here warning the people that war is coming. You know, all this shit is happening. You know, you have this happening, and also you have the rent moratorium that was struck down. You have the rent moratorium that was struck down, and I believe you have unemployment ending as well. So, right, Esau is getting ready. Esau is pushing the people to the brink so they can. Esau is pushing them to the brink so they could do some shit. So then Esau will have an excuse to unleash the Dogs War, man. To unleash these troops, these NATO troops, these UN NATO troops, as well as from other countries as well, on the streets of Babylon. Because when you Babylonians, modern day Babylonians, Americans, when you riot, you know, and you start wilding out because of the pressure that Esau was bringing. You know, these devils, they're gonna be like, oh, we gotta restore order. Look at all the shit that's going on. And then they're gonna release the foreign troops, because you know they may release the U.S. troops first, National Guard and the U.S. troops first, but you know eventually it's gonna get so bad, and the orders are gonna get so basically they're gonna be fucked up, right? They're gonna be so fucked up that you know a lot of them, not all of them. You have some that will be willing to, but you know it's a lot that ain't gonna be, right, because you have some that's on the government side, and some that's on that's opposing the government, man. Some that's on, you know, nowadays it's on the Republican side and shit, man. And you have relatives of that are on that live in these states that they're not, even some that are on the Democratic Joe Biden supporting side, they're not going to be willing to shoot on, or blast on them and shit, because they're their relatives. So they're going to bring foreign troops. They already have some of them. They already have foreign troops stationed here, man. They're going to bring them. So, and Esau is going to really, you know, he's going to roll through 2/3, and as well as a lot of his own people and heathens, you know, just to get to us, man. The elites of Esau are going to roll through them just to get to us, man. Use these troops, roll through them just to get to the elect of Jacob, man. The 1/3 remnant of Israel, man. I'm warning the elect, man. Warning you 2/3 too, but you ain't gonna take heed, man. You're just gonna fall. You're gonna fall for it. Or you have some that are militant, but you trusting in your bow, man. Not trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know. That's you trusting in the blessing of Esau. That's what you're doing. You're trusting in the blessing of Esau. You that carnal blessing instead of the spiritual blessing given to Jacob, our ancestor. And you 2/3 are gonna get mowed over. Smack y'all. 2/3 are gonna get mowed over by Esau, man. Well, he's gonna run you over while while trying to come at us. Warning our people to get right. And hold on. Let me get I think brothers went into the moratorium being let me just get a news clip off of this, man. Instead of doing what I've been doing. Since I have this now. Eviction. I feel like this is a whole lot more efficient. The eviction moratorium. Yup. Con. Ah, shit. I didn't mean to do that slocky, y'all. Eviction moratorium ending. Get this.
Could see a wave of evictions now that the Supreme Court has rejected the Biden administration's moratorium. At least 11 million Americans have already fallen behind on their rent. CBS's Nikki Batiste reports now on this stressful time for tenants and landlords.
I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Katie Owens is in shock after getting an eviction notice for her house in Brevard County, Florida. The single mother of two fell behind on rent when she got sick with
That's going to be a lot of y'all because y'all couldn't see this coming.
COVID and missed work at her salon job. Do you have a plan B?
No, I haven't got that far yet. Trying to save this one first.
Now that the Supreme Court has rejected the CDC's moratorium, landlords can move forward on evictions. Janice Hollins feels caught in the middle. 4 of her 21 renters in Bloomington, Illinois owe money.
We don't really want to put people out on the streets, and that's not going to bring in rent for us either.
To prevent a wave of evictions, the Biden administration is pleading with state and local governments to distribute existing funds. This week, the Treasury Department revealed that only $5.1 billion of the more than $46 billion in rental assistance approved by Congress had been distributed to those who need it through the end of July. Right now, more than 3 million families are worried they could be evicted from their homes in the coming months.
Evictions are profoundly traumatizing.
Diane Yentl is with the National Low Income Housing Coalition.
What makes this moment so tragic and frustrating is that there are sufficient resources to help tenants pay the rent.
A lifeline that may come too late.
Just put yourself in our shoes. Like, we didn't ask for this.
Hit the pause. A lifeline that may come too late, right? And it's basically it's wicked, that basically they're taking your bed from you. It's in the scriptures that they're taking your bed from you because you can't pay your rent. Shit, let me get it. Well, I don't know how it goes. Exactly. I don't know how it goes. I can't find how this. Hold on. Hold on. Slovakia. Oh no, I can't find it. Find the exact scripture. I'm looking for it. Ah. Salakia, y'all. I gotta fix this. My phone died. It died on 1:43:44. 1 hour 43 minutes 44 seconds. It called out by Shimmy outside by Shimmy Kakadash, because even then, you know, you can see it. Hey, that's a sign, man. Let me get let me reset this connection. That's what the fuck. Hold on. Fuck. It's now 1 minute 44 seconds. You see it disconnects. It re-up if it do. This connection right here because I'm connected already right here. It was 1:44. I have 44 seconds. 1:43 minutes now. 1:44. My hour 44 minutes. Something. More signs of color, yo. By Shimmy outside by Shimmy Kakadash. Let me get back to what I was getting into. Let me get that one video. My phone died. Let me get. Hold on, let me do something. This shit is fucking loading and shit. Let me do some. Maybe I need to approach it. It needs to connect. I turned it on, but apparently. Let me do this shit. What? Hold on. That's fucking weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. God, let me do this. I'm gonna connect, I think. Let me just do that. God. Alright, let me go back. YouTube. See if it's still live. Do you know Esau? Do you know Esau?
Could see a wave of evictions now that the
Congress had been distributed to those who need it through the end of July.
Let me run this back.
Right now, more than 3
So my phone died around this point.
Collins feels caught in the middle. 4 of her 20.
My phone died when I was playing this video, when I was going to go into it.
One renters in Bloomington, Illinois owe money.
We don't really want to put people out on the streets, and that's not going to bring in rent for us either.
To prevent a wave of evictions, the Biden administration is pleading with state and local governments to distribute existing funds. This week, the Treasury Department revealed that only $5.1 billion of the more than $46 billion in rental assistance approved by Congress had been distributed to those who need it through the end of July. Right now, more than 3 million families are worried they will be evicted from their homes in the coming months.
Evictions are profoundly traumatizing.
Diane Yantel is with the National Low Income Housing Coalition.
What makes this moment so tragic and frustrating is that there are sufficient resources to help tenants pay the rent.
A lifeline that may come too late.
Just put yourself in our shoes. Like, we didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for COVID.
New York has been among the states slow to distribute rental assistance, making tenants here especially worried about losing their homes. But the state's new governor says speeding up the system is a top priority. Tony?
Nikki, thank
And of course, they're going to say that to get you to think that there's hope in the system. Get you, basically, it's that peace and safety talk. Let me get that scripture. Just so y'all don't be misled. Those who can take heed, those who can hear us out. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, this sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. No, for when they shall say peace and safety, like what is she saying? We got, the governor of New York, for example, that Edomite, which, she's saying she got it all under control. So that you can believe that there is peace and safety coming. So for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So you can't be sidetracked by their talks of peace and safety. Because of course they're going to say that. They're not going to want you to know until it hits. They show in all their movies, where they're telling people there's peace and safety just so they don't panic. That's travail upon, but then, it's just sudden destruction come upon them. So they're showing you in their movies. Slacking, and then sudden destruction comes upon them. As travail with the woman with child, and they shall not escape. You see it. Because y'all are going to be lulled to sleep with the sudden destruction that is coming upon this place in you 2/3. That's what's going to happen. So like you. That's what's gonna happen, though, man. And you know, at the end of this clip, she was claiming that. Hold on, I can. Oh. Unemployment benefits expire for over 7.5 million Americans. Let me get it.
Tonight, unemployment benefits are over for 7.5 million Americans. Another 3 million will see their weekly checks cut by $300. It comes as hiring slowed in August, likely due to the surge of the Delta variant. Brooke Whitford delivered groceries when the pandemic started. She scaled back her hours over COVID concerns and a drop in wages. She's been on unemployment since April of last year.
Knowing that this date was coming up, what's that been like for you?
Stressful. The one word I can say, stressful, put me in kind of a slump, kind of a depression.
Whitford says she's applied for over 150 jobs in the last few months, but so far, no offers.
I don't meet the criteria, or they've already hired somebody.
For every 8 people who lost their unemployment benefits in June, only 1 found a new job. Reasons include a lack of childcare and the growing mismatch between the jobs available and people looking for work.
We've never cut off benefits for this many people all in one fell swoop. Unemployment comes fast, but finding a job can often take a lot of time.
But with a record 10 million jobs now available, many business owners like Joseph Termini hope the end of benefits helps them find much needed workers. The bakery owner has already begun to see more applicants.
I wouldn't call it a flood. I would say it was more of a trickle. But yes, we did see an uptick in people that were interested.
Now, nearly $800 billion was spent on federal pandemic unemployment. People use that money for rent, medication, food. Now what we're watching for is how long will it take for people to get jobs? How will they get by without that money? And how will that impact consumer spending?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Alright, shalom, shalom. So, yeah, you see that the unemployment gap is gonna, matter of fact, hold on. Let me play play the last part of this shit. Wait, hold the fuck up. Slacker. So basically, you know, that safety net unemployment benefits, you know, depending on Egypt, is gonna end. Hold up. Hold up, Akim. Hold up. Akim. So let me get into these scriptures. Let me get into this right here. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Get to them bottom verses. Wait, hold the fuck up, Slakin. Let me actually get another verse. The vintage shall fail. Slakin. I was thinking of jobs going away, so unemployment, I was thinking about that, so fuck. back. My phone died on me. I'm gonna start where I left off on Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I'm gonna go to the verses where, hold on. Satan interrupted his words, so I gotta start where I left off on. Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3, in the day while the kings, keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they're few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Because at the same time the supply chain is being destroyed. At the same time, so there is no way for them to get back. Verse 4, and now the security blanket is being taken away. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. The sound of the grinding is low, and it's going to continue being low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Let me get the vintage shall fail. The vintage faileth. Isaiah 32, and I'm going to get chapter 32. I'm going to get verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Verse 10, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. The vintage shall fail. And it goes into the system collapsing, the unemployment not being available, the eviction moratorium being ended, goes into all that. And more is coming. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, mourning. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, and the pleasant fields for the fruitful vine. They shall lament for the teats, man. That's saying, get off the government teat. Well, that's what's meant here. Because the system and the government, man, is going to be destroyed. Well, the government's not going to be able to, they're not, well, Esau's cutting all that off, man. Really to fulfill prophecy, but he thinks he's going to bring that new world order by creating chaos, so he's doing it. So they're cutting off welfare, man. Cutting that shit off, man. The government cheese is being cut off. For the plant pleasant fields for the fruitful vine. Verse 13, upon the land of my people shall come with thorns and briars. Symbolic. Think about it. Nowadays what it mean. Because manifold meanings to the scripture. These scriptures. Thorns and briars instead of the fruitful vine, right? Thorns and briars, symbolizing hardships and shit. Yeah, upon the houses of joy, my joy is city, man. You know, famine of bread and a famine of the word is coming, man. Both. You know, and the only way you could get prepared for it is by spiritually preparing for it. You know, by repenting and getting right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let me get what manner of conversation should you be? Second Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Seeing these things, let me get the verse before. Verse 10, but the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come as a thief in the night, and that the which, hold on. Verse 9, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not slack concerning his promises, some men count slackness, but long suffering to us, or not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Talking about, of course, is elect. Verse, hold on. Verse 10, but the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are in therein shall be burned up. Talking about the nuclear war that's going to come from all of this. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, will matter persons all ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness. Verse 12, looking forward and hasten unto the coming of the day of power Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. We're supposed to be looking forward, hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. Not speaking of the third heaven and all that. Not speaking of the rest of space, but like really speaking of the high places on earth, because also talking about that, and low places on earth. The heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's what it's talking about. That's what we're supposed to be doing, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let me get hasting. Hasting to move, act swiftly, hurry. Hastings. Archaic term for Hastings, man. Which means or hasten. In haste means a hurry or rush, to be in haste to get ahead in the world, unnecessarily quick action, thoughtless, rash, undue speed. Haste makes waste, what they say. But not in this case, waiting until Yahweh, waiting to the Most High, Yahweh send the Son Yahweh Shai to get back. Hasting etymology. Hasten. He's coming good. Hasten, act and move at high speed. Move hurriedly, like fast fuck. Speed up the progress of, facilitate, cause to occur rapidly. Hasten the day. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Verse 13, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwells righteousness. Verse 14, wherefore, beloved, this is what we're supposed to be doing, seeing that you look for such things. Be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Verse 15, an account that the long suffering of our Lord, our divine Yahushua, even as our beloved brother, Paul, according to the wisdom given unto him have written unto you. Verse 16, I'm about to wrap it up. Is also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. Verse 17, yet therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things, therefore beware, lest ye also be just like that dude that's talking about hold on. It's like that dude that's talking about, man, really fucking charging. It's like that dude that's talking about here it is tripping. Also, Slovakia. Slovakia. Verse 17, ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware, lest ye also be led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness. Come on, man. You're not supposed to take heed to these scoffers, they are apostates. Yeah, come on. You're not supposed to take heed to them, man. Lest ye be led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness, bug out, fall out. We almost at the end. That's not good. Because you once knew the truth, so you're going to be judged even more harshly. Verse 18, but grow in grace and in the knowledge of our Savior. Yahushua HaMashiach, to him be glory both now and forever. Amen. So, yeah, hey, we almost at the end. We almost at the time when this place is going to be completely destroyed by nuclear weapons. It's heading there. Jacob's trouble is like at the door and shit, pretty much about to kick it all the way down. We in those times. So what we need to be doing, we need to be hastening onto that day, getting right, man. Not listening to these scoffers and scorners and these bug outs, man. They're talking about shit like, oh, Herod is an Israelite, when he's obviously an Edomite. He's a descendant of Antipater, not Idumean. He's obviously an Edomite. And he tried to kill Yahushua, man. Herod the Great was the one that tried to murder Yahushua when he was a baby. He was the one that did that, spoken of in Revelation. He's spoken of in Revelation 12. Because he is Esau, man. He was an Edomite. He was an Edomite, and he was a part of that Roman system ruled by Edomites. Revelation 12 verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her crown had a crown of 12 stars. Verse 2, and the she-being was child cried, travailing with birth and pain to be delivered. Representing, Mary is Yahushua's mom, but really representing Israel, the nation of Israel. Verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, really representing the nation of Israel. The woman represents the nation of Israel. Thus, the 12 stars, the 12 tribes. Anyways, verse 3, and there appeared another wonder of heaven, behold, a great dragon, great red dragon. Edom means red. And these Edomites, man, they're a shade of red. And the so-called white people is pink. And I'm not talking about all of them, just the descendants of the original so-called white man after the flood, Edom, and the original one before the flood, Cain, man. They're one and the same. But anyways, getting back on that scripture, verse 3 of Revelation 12, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Verse 4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, talking about Judah, which were still in the land. Judah was still in the land, the southern kingdom, the 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that roughly, the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, as well as, some of the northern kingdom, but it wasn't that much. If you put it together, it was probably about a third of Yasharallah, the Israelites. Yasharallah just means Israel in Hebrew. The Israelites that's still in the land. Verse 4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and then cast him to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And Herod tried to murder Yahushua. Herod was trying to set up Yahushua. He had the wise men he told the wise men to tell him where Yahushua was. But the wise men, they dipped instead. Being warned about it in a dream from the Most High Yahweh. But Herod was an Edomite, man. He was the Edomite that tried to do that. And that Herod, the descendant of Antipater the Idumean, which is just the Greek way of saying Edomite. He was trying to murder Yahushua, man, and he was under the Romans. And the great red dragon represents the Romans, and the Romans being the empire of the Edomites. Roman eagle and all that, right? Verse 3, and she brought forth a man-child, which was to rule all nations with the rod of iron. There you go. And her child was caught up unto power Yahweh and to his throne, resurrected. That's speaking of Yahushua, this Edomite tried to murder him. Herod was an Edomite, man. He was a descendant of Antipater, who was an Idumean, which is the same as an Edomite. He was an Edomite. So those who are going along with this nigga and what he's teaching, man, about Herod being he's trying to say Herod was an Israelite. He's tripping. That's not scriptural. Herod was an Edomite. He was an adversary of Yahushua, man, and of the apostles. He was a top adversary in the Israelites in general. Reason why Herod went after the Israelites was to basically please. Well, the reason why Herod went after the Hamashiachim, right, the Israelites that believed in Yahushua, was to please Yahushua. Well, he pleased, the Israelite enemies of Yahushua, the scribes and the Pharisees. He himself was a descendant of Antipater, who was a known Edomite. That's something that Esau will do too. do shit like that to try to appease Jake, but it really doesn't benefit Jake. It just makes him feel good. Think of when these devils be throwing crumbs at our people. That's that government cheese and shit. And then fake reforms, think of that. Herod was an Edomite, all right? If you believe that Herod was an Israelite, you tripping. That's like saying the sky is lime green. Obviously not true, right? All right, so hold on. So with that, I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem. I hope this live was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Makah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading the truth like wildfire and sincerity, spreading the truth like wildfire in truth and in sincerity. And in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom to all the rest of the elect, the men that can't prophesy because, they're disabled from doing so, really because it wasn't their lot to do so. Going the highways and byways wasn't their lot to do so. Shalom and to the, as well as us to women and children who believe. Of course, who can't prophesy, Women are supposed to keep silent in the churches. And children is too young. Shalom to all the elect, whether they look like whether they look like the people in the 12 tribe chart, so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, or they look like other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, meaning Israelites, and specifically, those that are of that number, man, the remnant, in which I hope to be. All of us that are sincere in this truth hope to be. And, really hope to be, And, Abba Babal, dead to Babylon, which is known as America today, dead to these Edomites, Abad La Adawamium, dead to these heathens, Abad La Gawayim, and dead to our enemies among the Israelites, so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelites, that be Israelite foreigners, or speckled birds, Israelites that look like other nations. And that's all those 2/3 and rebels against the house of David gonna get judged. 2/3 gonna be destroyed in nukes, and these rebels gonna be destroyed when Yahweh Shai and the elect come back. Rebels in these other nations that are outside Babylon. What I'm talking about. Shalom, stay strong. Esau, you're through, you're doomed. Your kingdom is almost over. You're going to slavery. You're going to go into slavery for 1,000 years. Chain gang to chain gang, but y'all new death row. That chain gang is a new death row going to the chain gang. Shalom, stay strong, and Yasharala, all you heathens is through, man. You're never gonna rule again. You'll be 1,000 years a slave. then house arrest for the rest of the time, which is forever. You're gonna be under all rulership. Shalom's, and you 2/3 are gonna die a horrible death by pain and come back in your right mind. Shalom, stay strong. Stay strong and hopeful. Elect endure to the end. The elect is gonna endure to the end. That's how you're gonna find out if you're the elect or not, if you endure to the end. Shalom, stay strong. And it's not Wakanda forever, it's Yasharala forever. Shalom.